Hi, this is Tisch Aitken, and it is February 14th, 2023. Happy Valentine's Day. Today, the moon is in Sagittarius. It's made some good aspects, optimistic aspects. So I hope that you're enjoying your day no matter what you're doing. And it is a Hallmark holiday, realistically, too. So don't bum out if it's not anything exciting. It's not exciting here either. So, anyway, the point is, there's a big week ahead. On February 15th, tomorrow, Venus meets up with Neptune at 24 degrees of the mutable water sign of Pisces. And that's very significant to me because that defaults back to April 12th of 2022 when Jupiter, the grand benefic, which rules Pisces in ancient astrology, it rules Sagittarius in modern astrology. In both cases, Jupiter is about optimism and hope. In the case of Sagittarius, it's about hope and optimism and manifestation. And in Pisces, it may be more about traditional faith in ancient times or earlier times in history, but it's some form of spirituality. It might be a little more spiritually linked, but they both are about having hope and faith, about faith, really, right? So, with this said, Venus and Neptune meeting up tomorrow on February 15th. Venus is the other benefic of the zodiac. Jupiter is the grand benefic. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, what's of value, how you can be creative, and what really matters to you. And Venus meeting up with Neptune, well, Venus is in Pisces where it's exalted, and Neptune rules Pisces. This is very beautiful energy. And then on February 16th, we have very divergent energy in that the sun meets up with Saturn in Aquarius. And Saturn is at 27.5 degrees of Aquarius. So it's almost out. It really is, because there are 30 degrees to a sign, 0 being the first, 29 is the final. And we are just weeks away from Saturn, the planet of karma, responsibility, restriction, and limitations, is meeting up in the sign of Pisces, entering the sign of Pisces, a new ingress. And this is going to be, Saturn will be transiting in Pisces on and off through February 15th of 2026. And to me, this Venus-Neptune pairing that occurs tomorrow is an indication of the fact that, again, love is what's going to get us through this very, very unmanageable time where for many people, hope seems just unobtainable, and they feel lost, abandoned, and they've experienced a lot of loss. And so the Saturn-Sun conjunction is more about the reality of the fact that we can't just tune out. And there has been a lot more, there are a lot more people drinking and doing drugs right now. There's the opiate crisis, the fentanyl, awful things that are going on with that, and so much depression and alienation. And to me, I think the most affected are the very young and the very elderly. The young people should really connect. You learn by connecting with other people in real time, in real life. And for the very elderly, they're already alienated, and this makes it so much more difficult. So I think that we need to help people. That's really how we help ourselves, by giving to other people. That's really what it's about. It really is. And Saturn entering Pisces, yeah, do not give up on your dreams. And it's going to be hard for a lot of us. That's where I think the Pluto entering Aquarius is a big deal. Next month is going to be huge. You've got Saturn entering Pisces, where it was from 94 to 97 the last time. Okay. You've got Pluto, the planet of death and regeneration. That takes 248 years to orbit. It moves approximately 2 degrees a year. It's entering the sign of Aquarius. It's been transiting in Capricorn on and off since 2008. That's huge. Okay. And we're not done with Pluto in Capricorn. It's transiting on and off until January 21st of next year. But Pluto will be in Aquarius from, from March 23rd through June 10th, and then it'll re-enter Aquarius on January 21st of next year, where it'll be for approximately 20 years. I have an ephemeris that's a smaller ephemeris from 2000 to 2050. So, you know, I don't have much of Pluto and Pisces in there, obviously. So I don't even want to look at that or think about it. But, you know, this is where, in a time where people need a lot of focus and attention and help and connection, and Saturn and Pisces, people really do feel disconnected and abandoned. And yet with Pluto entering Aquarius, each of us is upgrading our skills. Each of us is morphing our businesses into a more digital phase. We have to. Saturn in Aquarius. Well, the last time it was in Aquarius was 91 and 94. And that's when the internet began in 91. It went public when Saturn was at the final degree of Aquarius, where it is almost going to be on March, you know, in the early March. So this is, you know, showing us the benefits of Saturn in Aquarius and technology, and how it's helped business and changed business, how it changed it to a whole other level the last few years. But we're also seeing the challenges of social media and technology. And, you know, it's not always positive. It's not always healthy. It engenders so many different psychological issues and triggers for people. And so how do we bridge this together? Well, we'll figure it out. And so on the weekend, the sun enters Pisces on February 18th, where it'll be until the spring equinox on March 20th. And that is obviously, again, creative, spiritual energy, good for healing yourself. I think right now, I have been feeling for a while, Pluto at the last degrees, the Mars retrograde thing was really tough. I felt in Gemini, where, you know, I was procrastinating not only in one area, but like 50 at once. That was awful. I thought I was going to be doing a lot of studying. I was trying to. Now I am, now that it's direct. But, you know, it was hard. And so, you know, Saturn wrapping it up in Aquarius, but not done with the Aquarian story by any means, because Pluto entering Aquarius is bringing it to a whole other level. And Pluto is only going to reach 0 degrees of Aquarius this year, the first degree. And this defers back to when Saturn, the structure, met up with Jupiter, the vision, on the winter solstice of 2020, December 20th of 2020. And they met up at the very first degree, 0 degrees of Aquarius, and that ushered in a new vision. And for the next 20 years, until Saturn and Jupiter meet up again. So what is the vision you want to structure? Well, part of it is building community, building connection, more focus on metaphysics. And I think that's really strong, because Pluto, Aquarius is maybe more the cerebral approach. Pisces is the soul-based, intuitive, psychic, you know, just, you know, you just feel it. And that's such a lovely level of it, really, too. And that combination, while there will be a big resurgence of interest in metaphysics, there already has been, but it's going to be even more different modalities, so many interesting things. I think that will come from that. AI and other things of it. Well, I just started taking a marketing class, and that frightens me. But, you know, let's see what happens. I mean, I think a lot more jobs and industries will be created. And I think now we're all starting to see more how we can work virtually. I've been doing this basically since 2004, so almost 20 years. But many people have not worked virtually. And, you know, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. It can be very difficult, you know, too. You know, people think, I remember when I did it, I thought, oh, this is going to be amazing. But you work sometimes various hours all the time, and if you don't work, you don't get paid. And so, you know, it's having structure, Saturn, right? But in Pisces, well, that's going to be a bit cumbersome. Doesn't mean it can't happen. And then on the 19th, a lot's happening. So we've got Mercury, the planet of communication and information, and it enters the sign of Aries, the cardinal fire sign of Aries, where Jupiter is currently transiting, expanding a lot of new beginnings. They meet up at, let's see, when do they meet up? They meet up at 11:15 11:56 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Mercury enters Aries, rather, and it'll be transiting there until March 16th. And that is, Venus is technically in its detriment because it rules the opposite sign of Libra. And, Aries could be more not self-centered. I almost said that, right? But it is more about self, and Libra is about partnering. But it's fun for taking charge on what you want to do and going ahead. And Aries is such an enthusiastic sign. Then there is a new moon that day that occurs at, let's see if I can remember this. It occurs at, at 9:06 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and at 12:06 a.m. Eastern. I'm sorry. I'm going to look at my notes because I don't want to screw this up. And I don't care if I'm a little less structured in how I do things. I think I will say my point on this is that in the Aquarian era, where I was trying to do everything with technology and be perfectionistic, I burned out, and it actually was challenging. So we're learning how we're all dealing with this. So I don't want to screw this up for you because it's a big deal, the new moon. And it is at February 19th at, it's at, oh gosh. This is being brazen doing this. Okay. Yeah, it is at 11:06 p.m. All right, I was right. And Mercury enters Aries at 11:56 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So they both happen very late Pacific Standard Time, and the new moon occurs on March 20th at 2:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Mercury, the planet of communication, Venus, rather, the planet of love and beauty, meet up enters the sign of Aries at 2:56 a.m. On the 20th of March at the very first degree. And this is of February at the very first degree. And, there is a lot happening, so I'm a little more scattered than normal. I'm not too scattered, but I think the point is a lot of us are feeling really drained from all of this. Pluto is the final degree of Capricorn right now. Saturn is almost at the final degree of Aquarius. And we began the year a very lackluster approach with, both Mars and Mercury retrograde, and Mars being the much bigger deal, but nonetheless both how we do business and communicate and go ahead. And the new moon is pretty cool and interesting to me because it's at 1 degree and 22 minutes of Pisces. Well, Saturn enters Pisces on March 7th at 0 degrees. So it's speaking to that first ingress, the ingress of Saturn entering Pisces, and that ushering in of the Saturn and Pisces story. But also in the chart, Venus and Neptune are still conjunct, as they will be tomorrow on the 15th of February. But Neptune is still at 24 degrees. Venus will be at the final degree of the zodiac at 29 degrees of Pisces. So we're getting a foreshadowing in this new moon, I feel, between it's occurring at the early part of Pisces and Venus being at the final degree where it loves to be. It's exalted in Pisces. And so 29 degrees is a difficult degree of Pisces, however, because it's associated with a fixed star known as Shiat, and that is a fixed star associated with the Titanic. It was in the chart that was cast for that day. And obviously we know what happened in that case, but it can be a degree of self-undoing, yet Venus does love so much of being in Pisces. So we're seeing that we are ushering in a new dream. We're focusing much more of being of service to people and of love, but also knowing that with Venus at the final degree, so many broken hearts, And I have a broken heart too. I think this is such a sad time. So, but we got to come together. Pluto entering Aquarius is huge. I've been rambling. This new moon, a lot of it is about how you think. Saturn in Aquarius is there, structuring your thoughts, but in a way that's futuristic, and how you can build community and how you can think ahead and just move forward and learn new skills. The new moon in Pisces of dreams and what imagination, being creative, being of love, being loving. Venus and Neptune conjunct at a wide orb. Well, that's about love. This right here, well, this is about love too. Look at her. Isn't she gorgeous? So this new moon has Sagittarius rising. Jupiter rules the chart, and it falls in the 4th house, which is home and security and emotional foundation. It's like the Empress card in Tarot. It's very fertile and creative and protected. And so I wish you all a lot of luck. And thank you so much. I am doing a reading special. I'll add the details here, and it's also on my Facebook page too. Thank you, and take care.